Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
And you are going in SmackDown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it Raw. Oh, baby, I like it Raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be watching right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and everywhere podcasts are available. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Larson, give us one Patreon tier.
$20.
What do you give for $20?
Stuff.
Yes.
Stickers. Comic book.
There's a sticker
right here.
Down there. There you go. A comic book is being produced at some point.
And there'll be something else in there, and then you get everything the $10 tier gets, and the $5 and the $1.
Yeah, exactly, which includes live streaming, all sorts of stuff. Anyways, you can check that out and help support the show.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
We're also at ProWrestlingTees.com. You can get this shirt.
Oh, I forgot to bring your fun wrestling shirt.
What? Did you bring your own at least?
No.
No?
If I did, I'd be wearing it.
Oh, man, you're killing me right now. I want my fun wrestling shirt.
I was up late last night.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so at ProWrestlingTees.com/Going In Raw, you can get Steve W shirts, Going In Raw shirts,
fun wrestling.
Yeah, and even the classic fuck wrestling shirt, Larson. Giving me too sweet for fuck wrestling.
Not gonna happen.
For sex. Too sweet. Because, fuck means sex.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, anyways, we're going to talk some NXT and 205 Live today. 205 Live, I'm kind of excited to talk about.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
It was a fun
NXT was another 2-hour special, so they filmed another house show, this one in Melbourne, Australia.
Man, I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. I got to keep it real here, man. I got to keep it real.
Okay.
So, as you know, and I think as a lot of our friendos know, I watch Wrestle Kingdom live from 11:30 till 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you watch it before or after NXT?
I watched all of it before. I was just telling you before we started, I went from the Hiroki Goto Shibata match directly into the Revival against Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli.
And it's I'll be honest with you, it's kind of hard to follow up Wrestle Kingdom 11 with a taped Melbourne show from Melbourne, Australia.
Well, I mean, especially when the first match features, and no disrespect to Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli, I mean, they're developmental talents. The Revival aren't.
No, they're not.
They're ready to go to the main roster like
yesterday.
6 months ago.
They're capable of putting on
spectacular matches.
Spectacular matches.
This is not a spectacular match.
Oh, it wasn't.
It should have been like a 5-minute squash match, really, but since it's a house show and they have time to fill, sort of like when we went to the show here in Sacramento and it was Asuka against Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
That should have been a 90-second match.
Right.
But it wasn't. It was 15 minutes.
Well, they were letting Mandy Rose get in her developmental reps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a time and place for that.
There's a time and place for that.
I just don't want to necessarily watch it at 11 o'clock at night after watching 5 hours of Wrestle Kingdom 11. This is a perfectly fine house show match.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I was there in attendance, I would have been pleased to see it.
I don't know, because people there were chanting, "This is boring." Did you notice that?
I didn't. I think I watched this one. I watched this one late last night, and I had my headphones on, so I don't know. I think honestly, be honest with you, I think I fast forward through a bunch of this. It's just hard to watch this shit when we've got. I just watched the day before. Like, I watched it 24 hours prior.
Yeah.
I watched Wrestle Kingdom, and I'm like, I am still exhausted.
Yeah, me too.
And not in a bad way, like, oh, there's too much wrestling. Man, it was just 5 hours of just. It was
really good matches.
Thoroughly entertained the entire
let's
time.
Hold that. We're going to do a Wrestle Kingdom video too.
Yes,
so
we
let's
are.
hold our thoughts off
we
until
are.
we do that.
So anyways, let's see here. NXT.
But anyways, like, the crowd was not into this match at all until the Revival hit Shatter Machine. Then they popped.
I always, whenever I liked a couple weeks ago when I asked you, I said, what do you think Billy Kay's selling is? And you said, I think we're seeing it. I think we saw Riddick Moss and Sabatelli's ceiling during their appearances on Breaking Ground.
Mm-hmm.
I know Sabatelli was on there. Was Riddick Moss on Breaking Ground?
So, no.
I don't remember. He might have been in the background somewhere. I feel like that's his ceiling. And then Tino Sabatelli. I don't know. I just nothing about that guy interests me. I'm sorry, man. I hope that he can prove me wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not dogging the guy as an individual.
No.
But as in terms of me as a wrestling fan wanting to watch somebody, he's like the exact opposite of what I want to see.
Still, when I see him, the first thing I think of is that part in Breaking Ground.
Yeah,
where he botches selling a drop kick.
Yeah, that's right.
And was it Matt Bloom chews him out for it?
Oh, big time. Yeah. I feel like he gets chewed out a lot.
Yeah.
But he's staying with it. Good for him.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be. I honestly don't mean to be shitty.
No. It's like if they had kicked the show off with pretty much any other match on the card.
Yeah.
It would have set a much better tone.
Yeah.
Like even the women's match, I thought had some pretty clever spots.
Yeah, it was
fun.
Decent, yeah, and anytime I get to see Ember Moon's, what is it called, the Eclipse or finisher?
Yeah, they just named it the Eclipse.
Friggin' love that move.
It's spectacular.
It's so good. I love that move. But yeah, no, you're right. The Revival shouldn't be slumming it like this. They're biding their time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the next match I was actually thoroughly entertained by simply because it was Elias Sampson the Drifter and Bobby Roode taking on Buddy Murphy and Ty Dillinger. 3 out of the 4 of these I am just thoroughly entertained with, just by virtue of who they are. Buddy Murphy I could do without, but he was in his hometown or in his homeland.
No, he's from Melbourne.
Oh, he is from Melbourne. Okay, good.
Yeah. Buddy Murphy is a decent wrestler.
Yeah, no, he's a decent wrestler.
Pretty athletic.
I just don't
that
really.
spot where he dove out of the ring. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Again, Trent Beretta dove out of the ring.
I know. And hit nothing except the floor.
Again,
we'll get to that. There's plenty of spots
I know.
at Wrestle Kingdom we could talk about.
But I thought, look, the highlight of this match for me, honestly, was Corey Graves dogging Elias Sampson. He just turns it on as soon as he comes out. He starts talking about, how do you drift from a continent to another continent? Oh man, there was so much gold.
I remember on Twitter someone mentioned to us that at this show, Samson really healed it up.
Oh yeah,
and he did that.
Yeah,
like,
he
he
did,
started doing his song. The crowd was booing. And he said, "If you don't be quiet, I'm not going to perform my song." So everybody cheered.
Yeah.
And then he just performed anyways. It was pretty good.
I just like that. Number one, when Bobby Roode came out, Corey Graves, he just has an orgasm, and he started at one point. He started singing it in this trying to be an angelic choir voice. He was like, I will defend.
But it was hushed.
Come on, Tom. Yeah, it was hushed. Exactly. Come on, Tom. Do it with me. And then if you notice, and these are the things that I love about house shows, is that when Rude got in there, he sort of motions over at Elias to do an air. He starts doing an air guitar, and so I like that weird, shouldn't be on the same page chemistry between Bobby Roode, who's this elite, trying to bring NXT to the next level.
Well, trying to bring CEOs to ringside.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
And you have Elias Sampson,
essentially,
who's a transient. Essentially,
he's essentially a homeless guy. And they're on the same page. Ty Dillinger extremely over.
Yeah, they're really setting it up for a Bobby Roode Ty Dillinger feud for that NXT title.
It's gonna happen.
It is gonna happen. Guaranteed.
And who went over in this match?
Ty pinned Elias.
That sounds right. That's right. Elias Sampson was gonna take the pin here. So yeah, it was a fun match because of the personality.
Yeah,
involved.
but it still felt very much like a house show match.
Yeah, it was definitely. It was like what do we get at our house show? It was Bobby Roode versus Noah Jose.
Yeah.
So it was along that a lot of dicking around.
Yeah.
Then we got a triple threat match: Liv Morgan versus Ember Moon versus Billie Kay.
A pretty fun match.
Yeah, it was a fun match.
That spot where was it Liv Morgan was trying to go for the pin and Ember Moon and Billie Kay kept kicking out and essentially throwing Liv Morgan.
Yeah, that was fun.
To the other person. That was neat.
That was fun. Liv Morgan, she traveled I think with Raw recently.
Yeah.
And so she
was
was
in some tag matches with Bayley and Sasha.
That's right. Yeah.
She's getting better.
She's getting better. I really hope they don't try to. I hope they don't do a weird shit where they rush it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Alexa Bliss was obviously ready. I don't know that Liv Morgan's ready.
No, I'll give another 6 months, at least.
I like that that's a fast track for me, man. That's such a fast track for me. I say another. I mean, usually you're the guy who's like, yeah, let's give it another 3 years.
Well, that's usually only for storylines.
That's true. But I don't know. Liv Morgan, I'd say after
SummerSlam.
Call her up after
7 months.
After the Rumble next year.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That probably won't happen, but okay.
Probably won't. TM61 also took on DIY. A decent match.
That's really good.
These guys put on really good matches.
Yeah. DIY seems like they can put on a good match with anybody.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They really do need... You want them to go to SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
It makes the most sense, I guess. They need SmackDown.
That spot where TM61 did the superplex powerbomb combo onto Gargano, I believe. That was pretty cool.
That was neat. That was good.
Yeah, it was a good match.
I'm definitely warming up to TM61.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to
they're good.
They should have. I want to see them have like a really, really long, really good feud with the Authors of Pain.
And I think that'll happen once the Authors of Pain claim the tag titles from DIY at the next takeover.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
because we already kind of saw that. Like we've seen them sort of mix it up a little bit.
Well, they were in the finals of the Dusty Classic this year.
Right. That
was a good match.
And then we saw them and they teamed up with Shinsuke Nakamura
at the house show we went to.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And speaking of Shinsuke Nakamura, in our main event, we had the director's cut of Shinsuke Nakamura.
I'm still not sure it was the complete unedited version because they took multiple commercial breaks. But there was definitely more match.
Yeah.
And they actually used the cage a lot more in this cut as opposed to the first one. Yeah. I still don't understand why they did that. Apart from just needing production time to put the shows together, I don't understand it.
I don't know. It makes it for a less desirable product at this point. I want to get back to the tapings. So wait, what's going on now? Bobby Roode's the number one contender.
Correct.
So he's going to be
challenging
challenging
their match
Shinsuke.
with Shinsuke is 3 weeks away, and they haven't done anything to build up to it yet.
Yeah, so they've got 3 weeks of and I think they just did some TV tapings, didn't they?
They're doing them today, I think.
Oh, they're doing them today. Okay, so we don't even have spoilers for that. Okay, well that's good. Well, that'll be interesting to see Bobby Roode interacting with Shinsuke. It'll be interesting to see Joe. Isn't Joe injured right now?
Oh, is he? I didn't hear about that.
I thought they had him on the shelf or something.
Oh, maybe.
So yeah, I don't know. That'll
apparently he's still being advertised for post-Mania NXT shows. Samoa Joe is. I mean, card always up to change, but
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that pans out.
But
let's talk about 205 Live.
Okay.
I'm tired of talking about these NXT house shows. Like, there's a limit to the content that we can do on this channel.
I know.
It's like
my nose itches. Sorry.
Who's got house show results? Let's talk about those. Why?
Let's talk about every house show results from every WWE branded show for the whole week.
Let's not. Let's see here. 205 Live.
TAJIRI.
We had the re-debut, the return, I guess, of TAJIRI to WWE programming.
Well, his 205 Live debut.
Yeah. He looked great.
Yeah.
He looked like he's probably like, what, 60 years old by now?
I don't think he's quite that old. He's probably just...
Think he's our age? Think he's older?
He's older, yeah.
He's older than
at least in his 40s.
All right. He looked great.
Yeah.
I still say they should have like aged him like aesthetically, like giving him a beard, but like then grade it and then grade his hair. And so it's like he's a time traveler. He went to the future and then came back.
You just want everybody to be time travelers.
Basically, that's not a problem.
Well, I mean, you can't have everybody with the same gimmick.
He took on Sean Maluda, who they trot out every once in a while the job to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And
decent match.
Decent match, yeah, good. He got in the classics, the tarantula, thing.
The kick to the head to finish the match. And then when Brian Kendrick came out...
Yeah, okay, let's get to the meat of the stuff. Like, the good stuff is when Kendrick came out and was very condescendingly welcoming him back to 205.
Yeah.
Welcoming him back to
Is it possible to be somewhat heartfelt and yet condescending? Because I felt that's what Kendrick was doing.
That's exactly what he did.
It was like, I'm kind of happy you're here, but I'm still going to be condescending about my welcome.
Exactly. Regardless of his intentions, he got green mist directly to the face, and he sold it like a champ.
He was laying on the mat, rolling around, saying, I can't see.
Corey Graves very nonchalantly says, his retinas are being burned out of his eyes as we speak. And I'm like, well, then shouldn't you get somebody to help him?
There should be someone there immediately to flush that out.
To flush it out, exactly. But my favorite part about it, though, was as he was writhing in pain, TAJIRI got down, and as if he had like wheels on his knees, started like sort of like
oh yeah.
He was what do you crawling? And that wasn't even a crawl though. Like his his arms, his hands were crawling, but then his knees were perfectly gliding.
Yeah.
And it was weird.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
I was like, that's really cool. Like, how did that happen?
Tajiri's cool, man.
Yeah, it's
I
like he
Tajiri.
had oil on his knees or something. It was great. Yeah, Tajiri's cool. He's going to be a good breath of fresh green air to the 205 Live Cruiserweight division.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Next, we had a Neville interview. Great.
Neville. Yeah.
Neville is really hitting it out of the park.
Man,
with his heel
he's
turn.
fantastic. He is fantastic.
He's doing great work.
Yeah.
Like everything about his packaging, except for his theme song, pretty much, he's changed to adapt to his new heel character.
Yeah.
Moveset changed. General demeanor changed. Haircut changed. Facial hair changed. It's great.
Yeah.
Ring gear slightly altered.
Uglied it up. Got rid of all color, all signs of positivity. It's all just Mean Neville.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they should put that on his little, when he comes out, his little name tag.
Mean Neville.
Mean Neville.
He should change his Twitter handle to @MeanNeville.
@MeanNeville 69. Let people know what he's all about. Yeah, and then we had a Tony Nese package.
Yeah.
I like that Tony Nese.
He's a premier athlete.
He is the premier athlete, yes. Then we had Jack Gallagher versus aforementioned Tony Nese.
Yeah, premier athlete.
With Drew Gulak flanking him in his best Sears outfit.
I noticed, yeah, this is, you say Sears outfit?
Yeah, about that. It's
yeah,
Sears,
Drew
guaranteed.
Gulak kind of looks like a frumpy lawyer, whereas Tony Nese looks like a high-priced
Drew
lawyer.
Drew Gulak looks like the foil for Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
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 And then Daivari ran in and interrupted the match.
It was a decent match.
Started beating the crap out of Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, started working the knee.
Yeah.
It was a decent match.
It was a decent match, but it really was set up to tell the story of Daivari
And Gallagher.
yeah. I like that. I like that little feud. It's a good little feud going on right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stories going
There's
on
a
in
lot of good
205
stuff
Live.
in 205 Live. We had Cedric Alexander and Alicia Fox.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that Cedric would tell Alicia, just stay backstage during my matches. But instead he said, be more careful.
Yeah, she was actually saying, I'll hang out backstage. I don't have to be out there anymore. It's like, no, baby. I'm like, Cedric, like, you and I need to have a big boy talk. Okay, we need to have a man-to-man talk. I've been around a little while. You know, I've been watching some John Cassavetes movies. Man,
You're entering that phase of your life, huh?
have you ever seen Husbands? I've
seen parts of it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
You just watched Woman Under the Influence,
We watched
right?
Woman in the last night. We watched we watched the first half of Faces, which is like a 2-hour movie, and there's maybe 4 set pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just real. Like, we thought that it was almost ending, and then we hit pause, and there was another hour left, and I was like, wow, he takes his time with this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did it take 3 years to shoot this? He just lets the camera roll, and they just talk about stuff. Anyways, yeah, Cedric and I need to have a talk, because I feel like he needs firm boundaries. He needs to put her, I'm not going to say put her in her place, because that's rude and probably sexist, but he definitely needs to prioritize, analyze, and then execute a solution.
He needs to separate his business endeavors with personal life.
Exactly.
That's what he needs to do.
Exactly. And I feel like he's having a hard time doing that right now.
Yes.
And even Alicia Fox, who's at least 10 years older than him, she understands.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She does.
But so anyways, they had a little backstage segment. And then Noam Dar came out, and he took a clean loss against Mustafa
In a
Ali.
really good match.
In a really good match. I like that Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, he's really good, and it seems like they have some aspirations for Mustafa Ali.
And I like, exactly. I really like that they're letting people take losses, and it's motivated, because at the end he says, you know, it's fine, I can take a loss. He says, but 2017 is going to be my year. I just need my sweetheart next to me. He does like a shadow Alicia Fox right here.
Yeah.
She's like with him, but not. And so let me ask you this, because we've been getting this on our Twitter @RealGoingInRaw, left and right. People keep on posting this story about Vince McMahon.
The Vince. Yeah, you brought this up once on the show.
Yeah, because I heard about it a little while ago, and then it blew up, apparently, that Noam Dar is getting his big push because Vince McMahon loves the fact that the way he says Fox,
it sounds like fucks.
Sounds like fucks.
Yeah.
And he's tickled by the fact that he can get away with that on TV. Do you lend credence to this story? This sounds like an Attitude Era Vince, not like today Vince.
It does, but it also sounds...
It sounds like Vince.
It does, but it's also ridiculous enough that it could capture the attention of people because it's funny. Mm-hmm. That whether it's true or not, people will perpetuate it.
Yeah,
because it makes them laugh.
Yeah.
So whether it's real or not, I don't know.
I would love at this point, I would love to say that there's no way that could be true.
Yeah,
because it's like
that's kind of my perspective as well. I doubt it's true.
Like you're running like a proper bit, like trying to reconcile that idea with, for example, the Vince McMahon that we saw on Stone Cold's podcast.
Yeah,
he's older, seemingly more measured.
Yeah.
I don't know that's there might be a grain of truth to it. Like perhaps after he said it, maybe Vince gave some positive feedback, and one of the asides was, it kind of sounds like he's saying fucks.
Yeah, that might be it, but I don't think he's continually having Noam Dar do it because him saying Fox sounds like him saying fucks.
I would just really doubt it.
Yeah.
And I would think, I mean, I imagine everybody's probably tickled by it because it does sound like he says fucks, but I mean, Noam Dar, he's obviously a special talent on the mic. He's a really good wrestler.
During 205 Live, beginning part of the match especially, Noam Dar was screaming a lot. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see parallels there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what's funny too is that I was looking at him sort of during the match. He was sort of preening. No, it was after the match. And during his interview, and I looked at him and was like, he's gonna be in WWE for a while. Mm-hmm. I just get this feeling he's gonna be around for a while.
Yeah.
So then Kira Tozawa, we got a package for Kira. I'm looking forward to this
debut
guy.
soon. That guy's great.
Yeah,
he was great in the Cruiserweight Classic. The match he and Tajiri had against DIY during the NXT Osaka special was really good.
It was really good as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
We also had a TJ Perkins interview.
He's getting better.
I don't think he's getting better.
He's getting more comfortable.
I don't like him at all.
I know you don't.
I'm back to no. For a second I was like, oh, I can take the stupid glasses. Everything about him is everything superficially negative stereotype about millennials. He's so annoying, and the stereotypes I don't buy into, by the way. But those stupid glasses.
Yeah, I don't like the glasses either.
He's so. Here's my thing about him, and I've said this before. Neville, Jack Gallagher, Noam Dar, Brian Kendrick, now Tajiri. Guys like Mustafa Ali who come across as sincere. He's not like flamboyant, but he's sincere.
Yes.
Drew Gulak, who in his own way is very entertaining in a very grounded way.
Okay, yeah.
There's no room. There's no room for this. There's no room for somebody who isn't so. Neville was so spectacular in the ring that people always wanted to see him. And now he's Mean Neville.
Yeah.
And so he's got that.
Yeah, he's got an actual character
he's
associated
got
with him.
that.
Yeah.
There's no, in my opinion, there's no room for somebody who is so overwhelmingly trying hard and still being so bland.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a place for that because it's not like his in-ring ability is so transcendent.
It's not transcendent, but his match with Neville was good. I've noticed
it's good.
I've noticed over the last month or so that Perkins has picked up the pace of his in-ring work a bit.
Any of these guys can have a good match against Neville.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the same could be said for Perkins too. He puts on consistently good matches, especially now since it seems over the last month he's picked up the pace. Because you think of the first couple matches he had against Kendrick on Raw after the tournament, they were kind of slow and plodding and felt, very much of the WWE style. And just seems like lately he's working a more Cruiserweight Classic style. Not quite completely, but the in-ring work's getting crisper, faster.
Yeah.
And his character work, granted, it's not the most convincing, but he's getting a little better.
He's got X-Pac heat with me, man.
Okay.
He's got X-Pac
That's fine.
heat with me.
You're welcome to have your opinion.
I know.
I'm not saying he's my favorite. I'm saying I see small improvements.
Yeah. His interview was a big step back for me.
Okay.
I really just wanted to punch him the entire time.
Okay.
Like this was where I'm at. Like, where are the Bollywood boys? I would rather see them at this point.
Really?
Yeah, but also that might be because I actively I have missed them. because I actively want to see them on my screen so I can fantasize about giving them wedgies and purple nurples.
You're so mean.
What is this one called?
That's a wet willy.
Right in the ear.
Yeah.
I want to sneak up behind them and go, hey, guys. And they're like, no, don't do that to me, please.
Such a bully.
They're like, we're fun-loving guys. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm a fun-loving guy. Anyways, TJ Perkins had a match against Neville.
Good match.
Yeah, decent match.
Again, Neville completely transformed himself.
And it's great.
He doesn't do the red arrow anymore. His finisher is now a superplex.
Yep. I know. I love that because a superplex should be a finishing move.
It really should.
God damn. That dragon superplex.
We'll get to that.
Oh, my God.
We'll get to Wrestle Kingdom in another video.
Oh, God. How is that guy's neck okay? How does Okada still have a neck?
Yeah, that was a tough spot. That was a rough spot.
All right, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Neville went over here, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, superplex.
Yeah, superplex finisher.
He only did 2.
They need to do a loser leaves town match.
He only did 2 high-flying top rope moves. He did a missile drop kick, and then from the second rope did a 450 or a Phoenix splash, something like that. But he's really toned down on the aerial moves.
I know, yeah. Dude, it's perfect.
It is.
Because he's so talented in the ring, he can do that and still put on great matches, but they're heel moves.
Yeah. And they're really focusing, based on the last couple of weeks' commentary, on Neville's strength advantage.
Yeah.
And so he's...
This is a textbook example of how to do a proper heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
You get to completely transform everything.
Everything you do, your whole
They just need to give him a different
approach.
theme. Give him a different theme, and the transformation will be complete.
Have they... I feel like they've changed his theme a little bit, haven't they? No?
Sound the same to me.
Do they still do the countdown at the beginning?
They might not do that.
I think they got rid of that.
But the actual song's the same.
Yeah, I think they got rid of the countdown.
Yeah, but how he walks out is completely
different. And then
different.
his video package is a bit different. They don't do they've completely ditched
the comet type thing.
The man
flying in from space.
Gravity, space-time fabric has forgotten about.
Yeah, they don't call him the man gravity forgot. At least they didn't this week. I thought they did within the last 3 weeks on Raw.
They have to get rid of that.
Yeah.
That's a face thing.
That is a enormous face thing.
Yeah. Anyways, TJ Perkins, I could so do without that guy. Like, I'm seething right now looking at his initials right here. TJP.
Yeah, it's just his initials.
I don't like him at all.
He puts on decent matches.
It's going to suck, man. SummerSlam, we're probably going to have to interview him or something. I'll stop. I'll just say no. Same with Sheamus. Now I'm like, man, I want to interview Sheamus. Put him up here, and I'll
talk to TJ Perkins.
You're gonna talk to TJ, just you?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Why?
What do am I gonna do anything?
Apparently not. You're gonna go eat some hors d'oeuvres or something, probably.
Can I do that? Really?
If that's what you want to do.
You want to get beer? I'll get you a beer.
Okay.
We'll arrange that right now. You interview TJ Perkins. I'll get you. What'd you look at my head for?
Last notes, you got your hair cut.
Did I?
Yeah.
No,
it looks like it.
Did I?
It looks like it's shorter on the sides.
I don't know about that. Maybe
and,
I did.
And the fact that you mentioned that you were gonna get your hair cut.
Oh, look at you putting two and two together.
Putting everything together.
Anyways, I'd rather let's do the Wrestle Kingdom recap after we're gonna do that's its own video, right?
Correct.
Nice. We're gonna get.
There's
to that.
a lot to talk about.
Oh, do we have questions? We have questions.
Have a lot.
Okay, let's get some questions.
All right.
Okay, I'll put them up too.
Yeah, you like saying the name of this first question asker, so I'm gonna let you do it because you love saying it so much.
Is it a Hispanic in origin?
Yep. Manuel.
Oh wait, Manuel
Garcia.
What is it, Manuel Garcia de Paredes?
Should 205 Live add a cruiserweight tag team championship? Seems to me, aside from 2 or 3 feuds, most of the talent is just lying around with nothing to fight for. No, I think having one belt on the show is just fine right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think there's not nearly enough people to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think most of the talent is just lying around. I think they're actually doing pretty good.
They're staggering people's debuts, which is a good idea. Yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have seen Akira Tozawa debut on the first episode, but I understand they're letting these stories develop and breathe, and once they get to a point where they feel comfortable that these stories are established, they'll introduce someone else to the show.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They're doing a pretty good job of having, there's only 12, 16 guys on the roster. Mm-hmm. So, if there's 3 or 4 matches, that's at least 3 or 4 stories that can be told per episode, not including backstage segments or run-ins.
Yeah.
So they're doing a good job.
I think they're doing a good job. 16-time Going In Raw Network champion, AJ Benzaken. How long till we finally see Austin Aries join the Cruiserweight division? When his eye heals up.
Yeah, he destroyed his orbital bone thanks to a kick from Shinsuke Nakamura.
I'm guessing he says when he does, is it possible he'll feud with Neville? I really doubt that because Austin's going to be a heel.
Yeah.
He's going to be a beloved heel, though.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, man.
Yes, he is.
He's so good.
Eric Base Hit King Blaha. Hey, friendos, why do I feel sympathy for the drifter Elias Sampson? And am I alone in feeling this?
No, you're not alone. I love the drifter.
Yeah, you like the drifter.
What he is what I need. That's the lyrics to his song.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know that?
I never really paid attention
What
to his
I
singing.
am is what you need.
Once I hear his out-of-tune guitar, I personally tune out.
What I am is what you need. He's a good singer. I don't care.
No,
what
he's
Corey
not.
Gray says.
Joshua the Dynamic Knight Martinez. His question is about 205 Live or NXT or WWE. Oh, it's more about Wrestle Kingdom. So we'll answer that next for the Wrestle Kingdom show.
Yes.
Smapty Jones, do you think NXT will ever go live? Will it help the developmental talent get better at handling the live aspect of Raw and SmackDown, or do they want to protect the young talent? I don't want them to go live.
Yeah, I think there are pros and cons,
Yes.
but I think the cons outweigh the pros, and one of those is allowing developmental sort of a relatively pressure-free environment to develop.
Because there have been times where like a finish to a match didn't go as planned, so they'll redo it and then edit it for broadcast so it went off smoothly.
Right.
And for a developmental, and granted, I know it's a touring brand, Triple H has plans to put it somewhat on par with Raw and SmackDown. As it exists now, it is still somewhat a developmental brand, so the developmental talents need time to develop
I wonder
in a space where they can still feel comfortable, are not afraid to make mistakes.
It'll kind of, I guess it will kind of depend if the WWE continues to be interested in developing their own talent, because if they see, like at the end, by the end of this year, if all their success stories are guys they brought in from the indie ranks, and none of their success stories are guys that they actually developed themselves through the Performance Center, like the Performance Center has a very good, I think the Performance Center, even if they only exclusively start bringing in indie guys, the Performance Center still has it still has a use.
Yeah, I guess they're ready for the WWE style of wrestling. Yeah.
Exactly. I would think that if they were exclusively bringing in indie guys, which I think is a possibility, then I think the odds of them going live and being successful with it are probably much greater, in which case I would be more in favor of it.
Yeah.
But, people like Liv Morgan, people like Aaliyah, that I think they seem to be bringing into the Performance Center, and they're sort of developing them fresh. They need, and I think there's a place for those people.
Yes.
They need the NXT to be taped. I really think that.
No, I agree with you.
Let's see here. Kyle Mushigian. With the second steel cage match happening in NXT, what do you see as the next gimmick match for the belt besides the cage?
So they've had ladder matches.
They've had ladder matches. They've had steel cage matches. We've seen an Iron Man match in the women's division. What else? I mean, I don't see them putting on table matches anytime soon.
Something like a last man standing match.
Yeah, like a last man standing match would seem.
That would have made sense somewhat for Shinsuke and Joe.
Yeah, it would have.
Because their cage match was okay.
It'll be interesting.
They didn't really utilize the cage a ton, though.
It'll be interesting to see if they really put Bobby Roode through the ringer with Shinsuke Nakamura, because Bobby Roode, he's got this arrogant persona, but he's also kind of a pristine guy.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if they're going to really make him work, make his character work for that title.
Yes. Thus far, Bobby Roode's character has had it pretty easy.
Right, exactly. So I think it'll greatly enhance everything about him if they do.
Yes. Western States Heritage Champion Matthew E. Williams, Esquire.
Big fish in a small pond, baby.
You keep saying that.
Over there on Fun Wrestling.
No, Fun Wrestling is the top YouTube wrestling show, period.
On all of YouTube?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Hey, friendos, lightly heavy question here. Do you think the reason the cruiserweights are being restricted to Raw is they eventually want to separate 205 Live fully, maybe even get it on network TV, and are just using Raw's time for it? It visibly seems like there are things Raw would rather be doing with the main talent, and the cruiserweights are there just to build an audience for the spinoff. I don't know.
I don't know if that's.
I mean, and maybe at some point they'll just have 205 Live be the cruiserweight show.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll ever be on network television or cable television. I think it's going to stay on the WWE network.
Oh, I agree with that completely. I don't know that it would be. They're sort of that's the reason they're being restricted to Raw.
Well, I think the reason they're being restricted to Raw is they said the cruiserweights are going to be exclusively on Raw, and now that's what they have to do.
Well, there's no room for them on SmackDown. Like, there's no time for them.
Not
on
really.
SmackDown.
Nope.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think they're doing it to get attention to the network.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
To be honest with
Because
you.
205 Live's been a really entertaining show week in and week out.
Yeah. The ECCW Jobber Champion Josh Crump. Did you guys catch the ring announcer botch the main event intro, calling it a stage keel match for the NXT title? I didn't notice that, but that's funny.
Yeah. I saw this question, I think, first, and then I noticed it.
He says, what are some of your favorite ring announcer or commentary botches? When Mauro Ranallo says Chad Hawkins, or whatever he said.
Or the interview bot on SmackDown.
Oh, my God.
Having a malfunction
What,
live
dude,
on air.
Intercontinental rebooting. Hi, Dean.
Yeah.
That was funny. Boy, geez, not good. Jake Jansma.
Non-wrestling talk show should be called Steven Larson Breaking Kayfabe.
What's something that rhymes with ground that's funny? Because we could do something like breaking ground, but it'd be
pound.
Breaking pound. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Let's see here. Josh Crump, you already had a question. Eric Hollow. Rumor has it Cedric Alexander's wife wasn't too happy about his story with Alicia Fox. Being that both women are pro wrestlers and both jobbed Nia Jax, what jobber would you pair him with next and why? Wait, who's his wife?
I don't know. I couldn't find out.
Really?
I did a quick Google search.
Yeah. Both women are pro wrestlers and both jobbed Nia Jax. Well, that narrows it down. He's married to Bailey, interestingly. No. What jobber would you pair him with? So his question is, once he kicks Alicia Fox to the side, who is he with next? I want to see him with Billy Kay, and they mash up both their terrible theme songs.
Yeah, I wish they gave him a better theme.
I want to see him. I want to see him adopt like some of her gimmick. Like he comes in and exclusively just her long cape.
The cape, yeah.
The cape thing.
What about the gloves?
Yeah, the gloves too. And then he wears like a Fabulous Moolah style singlet. That's what I want to see him do.
Nate Moore, SmackDown question here. Did the whole Baron Corbin coming out to announce himself in the Rumble while Cena and AJ were out there feel too similar to Braun doing it on Monday night with Roman and Goldberg talking? Also, Happy New Year's, guys.
There's only so many ways you can come out and announce yourself and you're going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, pretty much.
Usually it's during some sort of other wrestlers are in there and you're going to, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Dewey St. Gigglestick. Do you guys think Nakamura can benefit from having a manager / mouthpiece and who? No. I
always like the little the promo stuff they do for the last couple of Shinsuke Joe matches.
Yeah.
Where he and Regal are talking and Regal's saying, Joe wants his rematch right now.
Yeah.
And Shinsuke just says, one more time.
Yeah.
But there's so much character in how he says it.
I know. He's like a freaking alien, man. He's great. I don't want anybody talking for him. Part of his thing is you don't know what's going on up here because he's an alien, man. And so when he says something, it matters.
Yep.
And he says it in his way.
Yep.
I don't want him. I love everything about his presentation, including the way he speaks. I think it's great.
Yes. El Puesto.
The most
dapper luchador.
Dapper luchador.
If you guys had the chance to have a replica of any wrestler's ring gear entrance and all made to fit you, whose gear would you wear?
Yeah.
Also, will we see a special Going in Raw for the UK tournament? We'll do a recap of some sort.
Yeah, we'll do a recap. Maybe we'll throw it in this one.
Whose ring gear we want tailored just for us to wear on the show?
I wonder how comfy Bobby Roode's robe is.
I was going to say Okada's.
Man.
You were right on Twitter, I guess, where you said he looks like a walking title belt.
He looks like a walking championship belt. And there's Okada dollars falling from the sky.
I know.
I don't know how much those are worth compared to U.S. currency.
I don't think they're worth anything.
I kind of knew from Omega's cheesy Terminator thing. I like when people call me out on like not knowing everything, because I was like, well, this is a cheesy Terminator entrance. And they were like, oh, you didn't know? He did that last year, idiot. I'm like,
did you watch it? Was it cheesy last year too?
I didn't watch it. I was about to. I have openly said I don't know everything. I don't have total unified wrestling knowledge.
But still, you could take that intro in a vacuum and still have an opinion that it's kind of cheesy.
It's kind of cheesy.
Because it was kind of cheesy. Whether he did it last year or not, it's still kind of cheesy.
We're going to talk about that extensively.
Yes.
All right.
So who's ring gear? Okada's?
Well, number one, have you seen the Okada entrance where he literally has a dinosaur with him and he's got a giant sword?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, him. I also really love okay, so there's two, from what I can tell, there's two Takahashis.
Yeah, you're talking about the one that just won, spoiler alert, the junior heavyweight title.
Yes.
The ticking time bomb.
Hiromu?
Yes.
I think it's Hiromu.
Yes.
Still learning, people. Okay, still learning.
Yeah. You like his jacket.
I love his entire presentation because he literally looks. A lot of people try. I've noticed that a lot. Anime and manga is huge over there in the culture. Adults read and watch cartoons and stuff. He's the most accurate representation of a live action anime villain. Like the way he smiles and the way he cocks his head and everything about him. That is so rad. Mm-hmm. It's so amazing. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Jacob Castle. Good day, friendos. Which 205 Live stars have the most potential to win the main roster belt, and which belt would they win? Jacob Castle would like to see heel Neville, Mean Neville, as a strong mid-card belt guy.
Let me ask you this: if Mean Neville was a thing before the cruiserweights, do you think that he would have been? He would have found a place, I think.
Yeah, because his work has been that good.
But look, dude, here's the thing. I don't want 205 Live to be like, here's what I really want to see for 205 Live, for the Cruiserweight division. I don't want it to be a who can get out into the main roster.
Yes.
They are on the main roster.
Yes.
And I want that division to be as strong as the women's division is right now. To be as strong as the tag division sometimes is.
Yeah.
Or on NXT, for example.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I want that to be its own. When Austin Aries is there, then it's like, okay, this is like its own thing. Mm-hmm. Being king of the cruiserweights, as Neville calls it.
Yes.
Being cruiserweight champion should be the most prestigious thing for that division.
Yeah,
for
but that said, I also think there should be, for talent or talents that manage to transcend that division, the opportunity to go on the quote unquote main roster and try to go for those belts too.
Yeah,
because for example, Rey Mysterio, cruiserweight, but he got so popular that he managed to go and win the world title,
right?
And that was great.
Yeah,
I mean, Chris Jericho in WCW for the longest time was a cruiserweight.
Yeah,
I mean, Finn Balor is technically a cruiserweight.
I think if there's room for that in terms of like a story, if somebody is so overwhelmingly popular that they should be in the main event of the WWE show, then yes, I agree with that. But I think that I want to see that cruiserweight title be such a prestigious award.
No, I agree. I would like to see that belt elevated to
it's
the point where it's on par with at least the upper mid-card titles, if not the world title.
And
I would love that.
We'll talk about it on the Wrestle Kingdom show video that we're going to do.
Yeah.
But I like that about New Japan is that, and granted, still learning, but the Intercontinental title doesn't feel like a step down from the world title.
Not a huge step, no.
It's like they covet that belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Shinsuke Nakamura held that belt before, him and AJ fought for it last year.
Yeah.
That was a coveted title.
Yeah.
Unto itself. Naito right now is carrying that as a coveted title unto itself.
Although I like how he throws the belt around. He's so
man,
awesome.
If you guys get pissed off at Roman Reigns, he literally, it's like an afterthought carrying that title for him. Because I'm pretty sure just seeing how low he carries, I'm pretty sure it drags on the ground.
Yeah, probably.
It's great.
It's fantastic.
2
more questions.
Yes. Vincent, the smartest wrestling fan in the room, Palmieri. What is a better chant for the Drifter? Drift away, or I drift away and classify myself as obsolete. Wait, what? For him to say that, or
no,
for
I think
people
for
to chant?
The crowd. I don't get the second reference.
Neither. I don't know. I don't know. I really appreciate that you're a wanker. That chant that he was getting last night or on the Melbourne show. You're a wanker. He said, stop saying that or I'm going to stop airing my show.
Josh Perneda. I know this is off topic, but if you haven't seen another Wrestle Kingdom 11 question, just suggest we watch Okada versus Omega.
I mean, it's a good idea, Josh Perneda.
We should watch it again.
Yeah, we should watch it again once I'm not exhausted anymore, and then we should do a video on it. We're going to do a video on it right now.
Right now.
That's right. Anyways,
that's right.
Thanks for hanging out. Check out our Wrestle Kingdom 11 video going up. We're going to put that up tonight?
Yeah, we're going to put these up same time.
Same time? Wow.
Why not?
Okay, sounds good. First here at Stephen Larson YouTube.
Relatively the same time.
Yeah, sounds good. Anyways, until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.